So today I have something a little special for you guys. Reviewing a Lego set that won't be released until 6 months from now. This is the Lego Bricklink Designer Program Series 1 Mountain Fortress designed by Sleepless Night. That was a mouthful. So this is a 3,995 piece set that will be released as a pre-order in just a few days on February 7th, 2024. This is through Bricklink, which if you didn't know, Bricklink, the third-party marketplace, is now owned by Lego. They're one of the same, even though they operate under different brand names. Bricklink is Lego and Lego is Bricklink, if that makes sense. So the Mountain Fortress is part of the Bricklink Designer Program. And just as a refresher, what is that? Well, over the last couple years, Lego and Bricklink have been experimenting with fan design sets that they would make limited runs of. This is an example right here. This is a sealed Lego store that they made only 10,000 copies of. It even has really cool like holographic stickers here. This is a really awesome set, but I only bought one of them and I really regret that because the value of these Bricklink Designer Program sets have just skyrocketed ever since I got my hands on a few of them. And so there's a part of me that doesn't want to open them because they're so valuable. And we'll talk about that later in reference to this upcoming set. Now, it says Bricklink here, but if we just turn the box on the side, it says Lego. So these are true Lego sets. Most fans consider them like real Lego sets. They're just like special limited versions, and it does say the Bricklink Designer Program. Now, I don't have the box art for this upcoming Mountain Fortress here. This is technically a prototype set that Lego has sent me, but they have assured that the piece count is exact, nothing's going to change about it, minifigures are the same. This is the final version of the set. I just don't have the final version of the packaging. It's likely going to look something in the realm of this, like all white, maybe Bricklink, maybe Lego here on the logo. I really couldn't tell you because this set was part of a beta program for the Bricklink Designer Program, and the Mountain Fortress here is part of the official series of the program, meaning that Lego was just kind of experimenting with the Bricklink Designer Program, and now Lego saw that it was such a success, so many fans bought the sets, that they're like, okay, we're going to do this. And in fact, they've already announced 4 waves of upcoming Bricklink sets. I'll leave a link down in the description. You can check out all of the sets that have been accepted, and yeah, they've already confirmed like 5 different sets for each series. There's 4 series, so that's 20 new sets that'll be released over the next 2 years or so. All right, so Bricklink Designer Program, I'm kind of getting sidetracked. The way this works is you pre-order the fan design submission, which in this case, I actually have it here in person 6 months ahead of its release. Now you heard that right. The set launches on February 7th, but it won't be shipping until July, August timeframe, about 6 months after pre-orders. And that's how the previous Bricklink Designer Program sets have been. The reason being is because they want to see demand for these sets. Lego has said they're going to cap this specific set, the Mountain Fortress, and I believe all of Series 1 at 30,000 copies. Previously, I think it was like 10,000, 20,000 that they would make of certain sets, but now they've upped it to 30,000, which sounds like a lot. But if you look at the previous Bricklink Designer Program sets, you'll quickly find out that they sell out in just a few hours. Worldwide, these sets are fully available, and in any country, I believe that Lego Shop is available. You can pre-order one of these sets. So I haven't even told you the price of this thing. At just under 4,000 pieces, the price tag on this is going to be $380. Now, I also want to say this is likely to be the most popular of the 5 sets that are launching in Series 1 of the Bricklink Designer Program, simply because of how popular Lion Knight's Castle is, just how popular Classic Castle in general is with Lego fans. So this is the one that will likely sell out first. Like I said, they're making 30,000 copies, and if history is to repeat itself, I would say this is going to sell out within 24 hours once those pre-orders open on February 7th. So have your calendar cleared, have at least an hour cleared on February 7th, no matter where you're at in the world, and make sure that if you want to get this, you have that time allotted, because once those pre-orders have closed, your only option will be the aftermarket, which will upcharge this set probably like $500 immediately upon its release come July later this year. So, you know, if you're interested in it, you have to make that decision like on pre-order date. Now, I'm really happy Lego/Bricklink has sent me a review copy so I can let you guys know, should you go out and spend $380, because that's a ton of money for a set for something that you're not going to receive for 6 months later. So that's something you really have to consider, and so that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you decide should you buy this set or not. So let's get into the in-depth of the Mountain Fortress. So the first thing that I want to talk about was my building experience. Now, Lego, ahead of time of receiving this set, warned me that they were going to be providing pre-production building instructions, basically meaning they hadn't done their quality control checks yet on it. And man, there was a lot of mistakes, but that is not a reflection on what you guys would receive. So with that said, I really can't comment on what the final building experience will be like for the Mountain Fortress, other than it probably will be just fine. Lego is very good at making building instructions, as we all know. I have to say, this set is pretty massive. There's a ton of different rooms here on the backside to go through. It's very reminiscent of the Lion Knight's castle, and in fact, there is quite a lot of similarities to Lion Knight's castle, and we'll go through that here in a few minutes. Starting with the exterior, you'll see that there is a ton of different snow cover here, a lot of different icicles and such, great rock work. And then we take a look at our first functioning feature, which is a drawbridge that is mechanical just by simply turning this gear function here, and you can also lock it and release it. A lot of fun. Now, as we follow the drawbridge downwards through a ramp, you'll see that this leads outside. Now, backing up for a second, you can see that there is some very nice greebles here, a lot of great parts usage. I like what the designer did here, some fun techniques that really look nice on a fortress or castle like this. I also like the nice little plant details kind of hidden here on the side as well, a lot of masonry brick, and I even really love this tree design, utilizing a little ball joint there, very ingenious. Now, as we make our way into the first room of the fortress, you'll see here this is a jail cell that has a little escape hatch through these rocks. And inside is, a Lion Knight's soldier, which is, poor guy, it's sad to see. And he even has some chains and a bucket in there as well. Hopefully they're treating him well. On the opposite side of the room, there's a nice hidden Easter egg of, Lion Knight's castle. Makes total sense. Above this room is another section that you can pull out to allow more light in, and you can explore that this is just basically a storage room with bags, fish, food, all of that jazz. And then above this, we have the baker's room. So there's a big oven that's actually also really well designed. And next to that, we have some, little accessories like a basket and teapot. Directly behind this room, we have a dining table with 2 chairs, and then above that, we have a little top of the castle piece with a sparring of a Lion Knight soldier as well as a Black Falcon soldier. And if you haven't already realized, this is a Black Falcon Mountain Fortress to compete against the Lion Knights, which is pretty cool. And that is made a little bit more clear with these flags on the exterior. Shifting things to the right-hand side, you'll see that on the exterior, you have this crazy grand entrance, a really well-designed flag or symbol of the Black Falcons. You have these different flags, different armors and swords. And then below that, we have a little entrance gate that is also functional like that drawbridge. And as you can see, it has a very similar geared function that just utilizes chains. And you can also lock it up and release it for very satisfying results. Continuing the trend on the exterior, there's more snow as well as rock work and some nice design cues like this slanted wall. And on the opposite side, you'll see this is where you can find a horse as well as its stable and a little friend there as well next to the bucket. Moving upwards in this section, you can see that there is a little exterior door to a nice little balcony section that you can put some minifigures at, as well as a bunk bed for your soldiers. Above that is a stairway with a little hidden door, which is fun to explore, fun to play with. And then following that here on the top right side, we have some more weaponry as well as an area for the archer. Last up on the top side is yet another room, and included in this is a bed as well as a chest, even a little candle next to a balcony, which has a subsequent window on its side of the building with some nice snow details as well as little icicles kind of dripping off on the side, which look really authentic, very detailed. And then we also have this on the bottom of the terrain. Finally, we have the tower from the Mountain Fortress. This is where the Queen of the Black Falcons resides.
I especially love a lot of the exterior details here, especially this window. It's just very well designed, some great techniques being utilized here. I definitely had a lot of fun building it and seeing it all come together. Now, the tower also splits up into two sections, which is nice if you want to explore. For example, we have the keep here for the queen herself next to a fireplace to stay warm from that wintry weather. As we make our way upstairs, this leads to the queen's bedroom, in which you'll find, of course, a bed as well as a little sitting area next to that window, as well as a helmet for the queen to use in battle, which is a nice inclusion. Above this, we have a nice little owl sitting on the very top of the tower. Again, a lot of nice snow details and just great design techniques utilized throughout the area. Lastly, you do get 9 minifigures with this set, which honestly, I wish we did get more of. When you compare it to Lion Knight's Castle, which has far more for a similar price tag, I do wish maybe we got more citizens. It did feel a little lackluster in terms of filling all of the rooms in this set. Finally, the moment that you've all been waiting for, what does the Mountain Fortress look like when you compare it against Lion Knight's Castle? I gotta say, I wasn't expecting how good the two sets would look like next to each other. They truly look like companion sets for each other, and that was the intention for the Mountain Fortress, is to be that, companion slash enemy faction of the Lion Knights Castle. You have the Black Falcons versus Lion Knights, so they're supposed to go together, or at least, be against each other, and they look really good. They stand out as two different yet similar sets. They feel like they're both from the same world, which I think is the intention of the designer. A lot of similar details. I would arguably say that the Mountain Fortress might have better exterior details. Now, on the topic of size, Lion Knight's Castle definitely takes up a bigger footprint, but the Mountain Fortress is taller. Now, if you're like me and do happen to have both of these sets, you can have the two queens battle each other, which is pretty cool. Now, the biggest difference, in my opinion, between Lion Knight's Castle and the Mountain Fortress, and really what sets the two apart, is the interior details. Lion Knight's Castle is just in a class of its own, utilizing more colors, just a better all functionality and system for the interior, and it's just no competition against the Mountain Fortress. Now, you could make the argument that the Mountain Fortress is supposed to be pretty barren on the inside, supposed to feel cold and empty because of its location and setting, and I could understand that. But for the price that Bricklink/Lego is charging for this, I would have expected better. So that is definitely one of the bigger downsides of this set. And while I like it overall, it doesn't compete against that Lion Knight's Castle, in my opinion.
So that was fun. So on the topic of price, do I recommend this Mountain Fortress at that $380 price tag? Pre-ordering it 6 months before you get it in hands, is it worth that price tag? This is entirely new territory for me as a LEGO reviewer. So this is kind of tough to examine and explain. First off, I just want to say the set itself is very enjoyable. If you have Lion Knight's Castle, this is the perfect companion. Having the two faction castles next to each other looks really good, feels cool. I love the snow biome. The techniques are great. Lots of playability here. Great figure selection. Tons of different Easter eggs and little rooms to explore. You're going to have fun with this set. Now, I can't speak on whether it's going to be a good building experience. I think it will be because LEGO has good quality control, but just letting you know, it wasn't great. I saw at least 30 mistakes in that build process putting this thing together. But again, those were very early prototype building instructions I was using, so don't utilize that as like a factor in your buying decisions. I just want to disclose that is all. Is it worth $380? Honestly, this isn't a licensed set. This isn't Star Wars or Marvel. And so even though, 4,000 or just under 4,000 pieces for $380 sounds reasonable, LEGO could have easily charged just about like $350, even $330 for a set like this. When you look at Creator 3-in-1 and see the price that they charge for those versus the piece ratio, because they're not licensed sets either, you can see that, this is a little on the higher end of pricing. I feel like that can be justified because of the limited run factor of this set. They're only going to make 30,000 of them. You only basically have 24 hours, maybe a few days after February 7th to make a buying decision, because once they're sold out, they're sold out. They're not going to make more of them. And so that makes it really tough as a reviewer to say, hey, go buy this, don't buy this. On top of that, there is a factor I also have to consider, which is LEGO is allowing customers to buy 2 of, the Bricklink Designer Program sets. So you could, I'm not saying you should, but you could do this where you buy 1 to build and you keep 1 sealed. So that way, if you're the type of person who, maybe regrets in the long term, why did I open this, very valuable sealed limited run set? Gosh darn it, why did I do that? Then you have that option to buy 2 of them, keep 1 sealed, build 1, experience, and have fun with it. And, the other one will probably accrue in value, just like the other previous Bricklink Designer Program sets. A lot of these have doubled in price if they're sealed new in box over the last couple of years, mainly because LEGO/Bricklink is choosing very good designs. Now, I should also note that Bricklink allows fans to choose these designs. I believe this was what fans voted for. They wanted this mountain fortress. So considering that too, I do think all 30,000 are going to sell out fairly quickly. I don't know how quickly. Time will tell. In a few days, we'll find out for sure. But it will sell out. And so if you're interested in it, go ahead, put your pre-order in. You can always cancel that. Keep in mind, you can cancel your pre-order during those 6 months. I don't believe LEGO charges your credit card at time of purchase for Bricklink Designer Programs. So, you won't get charged $380 until July, which is very nice. That's very courteous of LEGO. So in my opinion, if you have interest in this, go ahead, put your pre-order in. Think about it, come back to this review, rewatch it maybe, double make sure, is this what I want to buy? And then go from there. So that's what I have to say about this set. Thank you, LEGO. Thank you, Bricklink, for sending over such an early review copy of a set. This was a fun experience for me. Hopefully it was a fun experience for you guys. This is going to be a fun set if you decide to pick up 1 or 2. And I'll let you guys talk about it in the comments below, because this is just so wild to be reviewing something like this. Lastly, I just want to say this is the only Bricklink Designer Program Series 1 set that I received to review early. That's a mouthful. Meaning that other reviewers also just received 1 copy or 1 specific set. So if you want to see the full series reviewed, you'll have to check out other reviewers. I don't know who got what, but definitely go check out other people's review. I think everybody probably is enjoying this really fun, maybe not fun building experience, but fun experience building a set so early prior to its release. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.